So if you're dating a Dominican woman, right? If it's a long distance relationship, you're in America, she's in the DR. Most chances are, not all the time, most chances are she's probably cheating on you. She definitely got a man over there, maybe 2 or 3, and you will never find out about it, bro.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
I'm trying to break this down in this video. I might need 2 videos to do it, but my assessment of Brazil is like, you know what? All right, I did what I came here to do. It was on my bucket list, I went to the Christ the Redeemer, one of the 7 wonders of the world, of the new world or whatever. And I spent the night in the favela with a beautiful girl. I had fun. But will I come back to Brazil again? No. It's not my favorite place, and how it ranks between the other countries like Thailand, Colombia, Dominican Republic. I'm gonna put Brazil last. So my ranking goes like this. Number 1, Thailand. Number 2, Colombia. Number 3, Dominican Republic, all day. Number 4, Brazil. And let me clear up some myths that people got about Brazil. Like I had this expectation about Brazil. So I'm thinking like, everywhere you go, you're going to turn around, you're going to see beautiful women walking around on the beach, with thongs on. No, the myth. You see tourists walking around here like Europeans here.
All right, I'm going to pause it there because I have no idea what this guy is talking about. All right, so first of all, the rankings, that's subjective, right? That's his opinion. If he thinks that the Thailand is number 1, go ahead, right? But in my personal opinion, I'm gonna do my ranking on this because I feel my ranking is completely different from his because I have no clue. I don't know what place he went to. I'm beginning to think that this man did not go to Brazil. Because Brazil has some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my freaking life, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put myself on big screen real quick if I can. It has some of the most attractive women I've ever seen in my goddamn life. The diversity is through the roof in Brazil because Brazil is a melting pot and it's been that way for years, right? There's people that say that if you want to know how America is going to look like in the next 100 years, go to Brazil. Right. And America is also a melting pot. You have a lot of great mixes here in America, but Brazil's been doing that. So you have a lot of women that just look out of this world. Like you're like, there's no way you could be real. How do you have I've seen girls, my skin color, green eyes, and this is all natural, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Green eyes, they got red curly hair. They look stunning and they're fit, right? Because a lot of these women in Brazil have a big gym culture. They have a big gym culture out there where these women are going to the gym every day because it's instilled in their culture, right? A lot of these women from a very young age believe, okay, I gotta go to the gym every day. I gotta be fit. I gotta outcompete the next girl. I gotta make sure I'm healthy, that I live long enough, right? So a lot of these women are just look stunning. I have no idea what this man is talking about, saying that he barely saw beautiful women, that when he was walking by the beach or whatever he was saying, that he didn't see shit, that he saw tourists. I'm like, you saw tourists? And don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of tourists in Rio de Janeiro specifically. There's a lot of tourists, but there's a lot of Brazilians, right? And I'm not saying that they have to be from Rio. I've seen Brazilians from Sao Paulo, all around the whole country that visit there. I saw a couple Portuguese folk that went there. Not too many Americans, believe it or not. I don't really see too many Americans down over there. A couple of Americans sprinkled here, there, but I barely heard English while I was over there. People from Portugal go by, but otherwise than that, I didn't really see much people. Argentinians, like South Americans, will go by, but otherwise than that, I didn't really see too many tourists. Most of the girls and the people that I saw while I was walking by the beach were Brazilian, and they look great. Like I'm talking about, I was breaking neck like every 2 seconds. I'll be like, like every 2 seconds, bro. Because and the thing is, I tried to control myself. You know what I mean? I would try to control myself. I'm like, yo, don't do that. Don't turn around. But they just look so good. It's just like, you can't help yourself as a man. Even women, like I had a couple women out there in Brazil stare at me. The craziest stares I've ever had in my life, I think might have come from Brazil. I was just walking, minding my business with my tank top. Like, guys, if you're a handsome and a muscular man, like you go to the gym, that's exactly their type. That's exactly the type of man that they want out in Brazil, that Brazilian women love. They love those tall, muscular men that hit the gym, that look good, that take care of them. Bro, if you that type of dude, if you got an athletic build to yourself, and I'm not saying I do, but that's what they go after over there. And imagine, I don't have an athletic build. I'm not saying I'm fat or anything, that I belong in the 800-pound life or whatever that show is called, the 400-pound life, but neither am I a fat dude, you know what I mean? I'm in between that. And I got choosing signals out there. I even had a couple girls approach me, right? That doesn't really happen. I've never been anywhere in the world where women approach me that often like I did in Brazil. But it happened. And I'm just an average dude. You know what I mean? But this guy over here, man, I don't know, man. So far, it's a little ridiculous. I think it's a little bit unfair with what he's saying. But let me go back to the ranking. So here would be my honest ranking of those 4 countries. And another thing, you know what? I want to point this out before I even get to my ranking. I think a lot of guys are under the impression that Brazil is an easy place to get women. And the thing is, you have to view it as a double-edged sword when it comes to Brazil, right? It can be easy, but it's also difficult. I'm going to get to that later on. Just think about that for a second. I'm going to leave the image in your heads about Brazil and how it truly is when it comes to the dating. But this is my ranking over here. So my ranking would be, I'm gonna go from the lowest to the top, right? So from 4 to 1. Number 4, in terms of women, we're talking in terms of women, right? And the thing is, I haven't been to some of these countries. I only been to half of the list, but I do have a bit of experience with those type of women here in America. I do have an idea how they look like and all that. So number 4, Thailand. And the reason for that, no disrespect to Thailand or Thai women, is I'm not really into Asian women. However, I have seen a lot of attractive women that came out of Thailand. My preference, though, if we're talking Asian countries, is the Philippines. Because I like that nice tan look that they got. They're beautiful. They just look like wifey material type of women in the Philippines, right? But the Philippines wasn't even on this list. It was Thailand. So Thailand, I feel like they're just pale, and I don't know. I'm not really an Asian guy. I kind of like a little bit of curves. I don't like skinny women like that. No, I like some curves with that. You know what I mean? So Thailand, number 4. But of course, that can always change once I go to Thailand. So we'll see what happens. That's in the future, though. Number 4, Thailand. Number 3, and I'm sorry, I made a video about this a couple months ago about the most beautiful women on the planet, and I'm gonna be consistent with it. I'm gonna stay consistent with that list. I ranked the Dominican Republic on that particular video number 4. All right, so I had, if you guys remember, it was the Dominican Republic at 4, Ukraine, Russia at 3, and then so on. So Dominican Republic in this particular list is number 3. The only reason why I'm putting the Dominican Republic at number 3 is for a couple reasons. Number 1, I'm Dominican. All right, I don't know if you guys knew that. I don't know if that's a wild, shocking fact about me, but I'm Dominican. All right, I'm 100% Dominican. I speak Spanish, all that from birth. So I've been dealing with Dominican women all my life. So when you've been dealing with Dominican women all your life, it's kind of like, all right, I've been there, done that. I've seen that. All right, cool. Not saying that they're not beautiful, because they are. There are a lot of beautiful Dominican women on all shapes and different colors and everything. You got tan Dominican women, black Dominican women, white Dominican women. There's a lot of diversity in the Dominican Republic. You have women that looks like a gringa out there. You have women that look like an African-American woman. You have all different types of women and all different types of shapes and sizes out in the Dominican Republic. There is a lot of variety and diversity in the Dominican Republic. However, I've been there, done that. Another thing about the Dominican Republic is because I am Dominican and I speak Spanish. Now, before I get to the point, don't generalize it and make it seem like I'm talking about all Dominican women. I'm just saying there's a good portion of them that's like this. And I've talked about this before with some brothers in chats. But I've told brothers, listen, as much as I love Dominican women, there's a big chapeadora culture in the Dominican Republic. So for those of you guys who don't know what that means, the chapeadoras or the chappies, What that is gold diggers. Women that date you solely for money, right? They're just there for money, right? They'll do a little something for you, right? They might go on a date with you. They'll do something with you in the bedroom. Otherwise than that, though, they don't really care about you like that. They just care about the money. And when the money milks, when it dries up, right? When you squeeze all that juice out of the lemon, they're out, right? They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about your feelings, about your pocket, none of that. And I can't really be with a woman like that, to be honest with you. I want to be with a woman that for the most part is with me because she likes me. And not saying you can't do that in DR, but with DR, I've noticed there's a lot of women. I've overheard conversations with a lot of different women over 30 years of my life. I've dated Dominican women, and they have that like make his pockets hurt mentality that I just don't like. I don't like that make his pockets hurt. I don't give a damn about no man. I'm going to take all the money and run away mentality. I don't like that mentality. Sure, they're beautiful. Sure, you can find yourself a very good Dominican woman. Don't get me wrong. You can. But you got to be very careful and you got to vet them correctly. Because if you don't, they're going to ruin your life. And Dominican women are known for this. They can be very money hungry. All right? And they'll use it against you. So be very careful. That's why I put Dominican women number 3 for that sole reason. But if they weren't like that, I'd rank them higher. But they can be a little bit toxic. All right. And I'm being very honest with you as a Dominican man. No disrespect to my Dominican women out there. I love y'all. Listen, if I found myself a great Dominican woman today, I would date her. However, I've noticed that this is a common theme, a common trait in most of the Dominican women I've dealt with or dealt with third person, right? Where they'll be dating a guy and I'll overhear them speaking in Spanish and they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to milk this guy. I'm going to take all his money, this, that, and I'm going to leave him. I'm going to divorce him, this, that. It's evil. You know what I mean? I can't deal with that type of shit, that chapeadora mindset, bro. And another thing, Dominican culture, and it isn't just, men are also just as bad. So for my women that are looking to dating Dominican men, as great as Dominican men can be, as charismatic, as social as they can be, they're huge players, right? And this also transfers to the women. The women act the same way. The women can be very masculine, right? Extremely masculine, because a lot of them come from single parent households or they were just raised by their mother to be more masculine, right? So they're masculine, and then on top of that, they play us too. So they'll cheat on you. So if you're dating a Dominican woman, right? If it's a long distance relationship, you're in America, she's in the DR. Most chances are, not all the time, most chances are she's probably cheating on you. She definitely got a man over there, maybe 2 or 3. And you will never find out about it, bro. You will never find out about it. Bro, the guy that she's cheating on you with will literally pop up to your crib and will shake your hand, look at you in your eyes. And deep inside, he's been smashing your woman all along. It be like that, bro. I've seen it with my own eyes. Not saying it happened to me, but it's happened to other brothers. And at that moment, I didn't know that. But we found out later on, a couple months later, I was like, damn, this dude came to the house. He shook our hand, everything. And he was banging your girl. That's crazy, bro. The audacity, bro. You're over here giving this girl money. And the thing is, it's not even cheap either. These dudes, some of these dudes are giving these chicks $1,000 a month, maybe a little bit more than that, depending. And they could get a little bit demanding too. All right. I love my Dominican women, but this is a common theme. In my opinion, actually, if y'all want to date Dominican women, you better off dating a Dominican woman here in the States, in my opinion. Because if you're dating a Dominican woman from DR, you better vet her correctly, or else she's going to get you. All right. All right. So that's number 3. Number 2 would be Colombia. Bro, I'm a sucker for Colombian women because they just got that look to them, that feminine vibe. They're like, papachito, they'll massage you and cook for you, and they're sweet talk you. And I love how Colombian women are, just the way they act, the feminine energy, the super feminine energy. And on top of that, I love their food out there. So if a Colombian woman could cook for me, I think I might fall in love with the chick. You know what I mean? They have amazing accents. Their accents are I think out of all the women in the world, I think Colombian women have the sexiest accent in the world, in my opinion. I don't think any other woman on this planet can compete with a Colombian paisa accent, specifically from Medellin. That accent is undefeated. That accent can make you do anything, bro. A girl literally tell you to jump off the bridge, right? And just because her accent was so adorable and cute, I'm not saying that you will do it. You might actually contemplate on doing it because it's such a sexy accent.
Papacito, levántese a trabajar pues mi amor, que usted sabe que hombre flojo no va a gozar mujer bonita. A salir adelante pues mi amor, yo veré. Qué pesar.
Right? Maybe that might be a wrong example, but that's how sexy their accents are for any of you guys that haven't been there, haven't dealt with a Colombian woman. But I would put Colombia number 2, and they're just sexy women. They're just beautiful, beautiful. But number 1 is Brazil. Brazilian women, just that diversity across the board. You can find almost any type of girl in the world and any type of girl that you want in Brazil. And on top of that, their energy is undefeated. I think that's the reason why I edged them out over Colombia, is because of the diversity and the energy. There's a energy about Brazilian women that I can't describe. It's a very bubbly, warm, social, outgoing, positive, fun energy. It's almost like they're a ball of joy, or like just fun. They're like fun size. You know what I mean? I can't describe it, but when you're around them, it's like they're just so fun to talk to. You can, let your guard down around them. They always want to dance and have a good time, and they're very passionate in the bedroom, passionate kissers. They're just overall just very passionate if they really like you. And that's why I put Brazilian women number 1 over any, and this isn't even like, we're talking all around the world, not just these 4 countries, all around the world. I would still put Brazil number 1. There's no other country that can compete with it. I've dated women from all around the world, and I love my Eastern European women too, don't get me wrong, but I that Brazilian women just have that seasoning to them. They have that spice to them, that fun, that warmth, that passion that I just love. Like, it's all packed into one girl. Like, I really think God took his time when he made Brazilian women.